Good morning, traders, and happy Friday. It is 9:02 a.m. Eastern U.S. time on Friday, the 27th of October, 2017. Thanks for joining me again. Another session. Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. The overall market stance this morning, we have a mixed bag. The indices are slightly a wee bit higher. The S&P 500 is trading in a gap up and back into the MC point of control discussed yesterday at 2567 and a half, 2568. That was our target for yesterday, actually, to the upside. And here we are today. The NASDAQ leading the pack up 54 points on the NASDAQ, 6138.75 being traded, and up 0.89%. Big move up in the NAS. So we'll see how that plays out if we get responsive. If we get responsive on the open, or we continue higher. Let me turn down my news feed. So that's where we are. The Nasdaq's driven by Alphabet's report. Alphabet, Google's parent company, raked in $27.77 billion in the third quarter, up 24% from a year ago. Strong performance from its mobile search advertising business and YouTube video, which is where we're at right now. So the Nasdaq responding to that since yesterday's, as well as Amazon, and so that's where we stand. The laggard is RBOB again. RBOB's down almost 1%, trading at $1.68.5, and the euro also, which is stuck at 116.29, 116.29, down 0.53% in the euro. As far as what we're expecting for today, we got a bunch of numbers this morning. The German import prices, key of which are the German import prices, as well as the U.S. GDP annualized, and core PCE and personal consumption. We're waiting for the 10 o'clock Eastern U.S. time for the University of Michigan confidence. That's a final number for October, expecting 100.7. And then we are free and clear for the rest of the day. No speakers, no further reports. So there's little influence from the economic calendar coming into today. As far as what we expected yesterday versus what we got, before I get to that, I want to remind everybody that it is Like Friday. Please hit the like button on your screen. If you don't see it, just hit the YouTube button. That'll take you to the YouTube version, direct version of the broadcast, and then just hit like, please. So this is what we expected yesterday. We expected a draft down, responsive early against the 25.56.50. And potentially the point of control, and then looking for a base, and then impulse up, and then a push into that 25.67.68 area up here. This is where we are now. So I was looking for a downdraft. I'm looking for basically a continuation of this channel here after testing lower. I'm seeing this as an unfair low or an excess low, and the market's likely to turn back up and start moving, as I discussed yesterday, back up to 25.73 and a new all-time highs, as it's done repeatedly. So it's rinse and repeat unless something changes, and I'm not seeing any changes. So that's the primary hypothesis. We had some of this, but the market really didn't move around much yesterday. I had one I posted. Well, I didn't post it publicly, but I posted it in the chat room. I had one okay trade here against 25.57.75. The entry is right there. The yellow line is the theoretical average, and the first scale at 25.59.50, which brought my theoretical average down to 25.56 for a quote unquote low risk trade, not risk free, and then it continued higher. I believe the next image shows what happens next. It continued to push higher. I continue to get the scale outs. So I got a scale out. Got a scale out there. Got a scale out there. Didn't quite get to this offer, and then it turned south. And I ended up getting pushed out on that trade. But other than that, I really didn't see anything incredibly enticing yesterday across the board. Hypo 2 did not work out at all. Hypo 3, not at all. Russell, expected the Russell to move down into the point of control 1494 and to consolidate, then to push up later in the session. We really didn't see that. And then the other side is to push down to become responsive towards the point of control, unable, and then to have an updraft up to that 1505.7 area. No go there either. So despite the numerous hypotheses yesterday, we really didn't see much of anything. So this is the area where I chose to participate. Other than that, it was a completely flat day. Gaussian profile, completely balanced. The market is in consensus on price in this area. The market completely balanced out. When we have complete balance like this, we're likely to have consolidation, either an additional day. So yesterday was neutral. Broke the low in the later part of the session, and ended up finishing right at the mid and VWAP. We generally expect the next day to also be to consolidate. If it starts in balance, we expect the next day to consolidate, and then we expect a strong move from here up or down. This is just an energy gathering process here. Okay, so that's how things are shaping up. As far as what we've done in the overnight since the close. So here's the bar that tested down, broke neutral, and then held the mid, and then we drifted down on the Asian reopen right here, and then had an impulse up, consolidate, and then have been consolidating to the high side. Again, this is all on earnings as the market responds to the news on Google and such. And so this is a P-shaped profile. This is a short covering run. We moved quickly away from the bottom and are holding near the top. Quite bullish action in my opinion. But we'll see what the market has to say this morning. Overnight inventory is probably 80% or so to the long side in price and delta. So looking for participation, a potential test to potentially balance the inventory, and then higher, and that will be the primary hypothesis. On the Russell, there it is, just absolutely sideways, just really trading in line with the S&P for once. And so, hang on. Be nice to throw up the Russell chart when I talk about it. RTY, here we go. There, the Russell. I darkened the color just for this purpose. So the Russell, a balanced profile. Again, neutral as well, finishing in the middle. It is trading, just like I said a minute ago, it's trading for once in line with the S&P, consolidating, and it's trading right here, right now. It's trading 14.99, right in the middle of the balance. So it did not participate in the rally as the S&P did. Why? Because Google is not a small cap company, and it does not belong in a Russell, and therefore does not have a tremendous effect. It has a correlation effect on the Russell, maybe, but it's not having the tremendous effect that it's having on the Nasdaq and the S&P. So the Russell remains weak looking. The Russell's waiting for an excuse to puke downwards and retackle this 1481.982 area, but it's not getting that relief. Neither are we. But the Russell did not participate at all the way I expected yesterday in my hypotheses. It did not rally. It did not drop. It just stayed in place. It just had just no real action at all. So yesterday did not touch the point of control, did not breach anything, did not push up, and that's where we remain. In the overnight, the Russell overnight, we rallied a little bit in sympathy. Remember, the S&P 5, the Russell stocks are not really trading. These products tend to drift around. With in sympathy with everything else, and that's why we have a similar sort of profile, a similar sort of action as we did in the S&P, but the Russell is not able to hang on to those gains and has come back into balance again. The Russell's trading right up against its its point of control from yesterday, and is back in balance. It's just not participating in any way. It does not want to join the party. Again, I ask that you hit the like button today. Please hit the like button. If you don't see a thumbs up button, just look for a YouTube button, click on it, and then hit the thumbs up before you leave. The plan for today, the usual, what we've seen over many days, when we have a gap up, like we've seen here, okay? We open in a gap, open auction, out of range. We're opening against the point of control, so we have a point of control here. We still have this big area, right? So remember from a couple of days ago, the 69.75 and the 66. The 66, that's in play. In addition, 62, which happens to be the point of control, all of that is still in play. So if we add the volume for yesterday, we clean up the 62 quite a bit, but overall we still have that 69.75 above us. We're in the point of control of this composite, so we're trading right on top of it. We're trading at 67.25. The point of control is at 68. The expectation is for an open auction. I'm looking for the market to start to move towards the prior sessions range. I'm looking for the market to hold this area here at 63.75. If it does push into the range slightly, and then I'm looking for an impulse up that then has us going sideways into the end of the session. We are back in balance. The party is back on, and that's the primary scenario for the S&P. Okay, so we're seeing a little bit of action here for the last couple of days, but overall, it's just we're still trading really 30 points or 40 points from the high. We haven't done anything. 25 points, in fact. Is it 25 or 35? 35 points. 35 points since last Friday. That's it. And now I want to remind you, the S&P used to the most common S&P weekly range was around 52 points. 52 points versus 35, and we had a busy week last week. So this is a big crunch here that we're stuck in. Secondary hypothesis: open, get the buyers, get initiative, push up. I'm looking for a push through to about 72.5, 73. Looking for resistance. Looking for a lower high failure, back into the opening swing, break through, and then test lower, and then finish at the high. So this closes the gap zone, but it does not doesn't go anywhere ultimately. Again, it's Friday. It's still a sleepy trade. Okay, I'm over my time. I'll go over what I'm expecting to be the primary move, the primary game plan in the Russell, and I'll leave it at that. Again, please hit the like button. The Russell, again, we are opening right in the middle of this balance right here. This is the opening price. Open auction. Looking for it to move in sympathy. And then move down. I'm looking for a close of 14.94 and a quarter. And then for the Russell to accomplish what we expected yesterday, to push back and trade this high volume node and reaffirm it as balance, as an accepted area, and then just remain there. Sorry, this is a hypo 1, not 2, hypo 1. Okay, so that's where we are. Just a heads up, next week I'm going to be on the Money Show. I'm doing a small presentation at the Money Show in the free segment of the Money Show. Speaking for about a half hour from 3:15 till 3:45, I believe, on Thursday, the 2nd of November. I've been invited to speak, and I will not be here Thursday or Friday. I will not be doing a Trader Bites Thursday or Friday. I'll be here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So heads up on that. I'll speak to you again on Monday. Good luck, and I'll catch you soon. Take care.